Guys, I dropped my bike. So let's talk about it. But before we do, I need to do a thumbnail. So just bear with me just a moment here. Probably looks like I'm crying. I mean, to be fair, that's kind of how it felt when I dropped it. I felt like crying, but I didn't.
That's gonna be a fun thumbnail.
Let's talk about how I dropped my bike.
Alright guys, I am Tyler from my friend's garage, and like I said earlier, I dropped my bike, my new to me bike, and it was embarrassing. Well, I say that it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing, but I was the only person around to see it happen, which is good, because if other people seen that happen, oh, I can't imagine how even more embarrassed I would feel. But the way I did it was just so dumb and avoidable. Had I only thought through what I was doing when I was getting onto my bike. So here's how it happened. I was out working, going from place to place on my bike for my job, and I parked my bike on a decline with my front end angled down. And you know, there's problem number one. I should have known better to do that, because this bike is kind of tall for me. I'm 6 foot tall. I have like a 32-inch inseam, like crotched floor if I'm barefoot. So when I get on this bike, I forget how tall this seat is. I should probably put that in the video, but I put my hands on the handlebar to help leverage myself as I swung my leg over. And I got to get better at this. I know that's probably not the best way to do it. I just need to limber up my right leg. I broke that a long time ago, and I've kind of had limberness issues in my hip ever since. But that's a story for another time. But I put my hands on my handlebars, and I went to swing my leg over. And the bike was in neutral. So as I leveraged myself, swinging my leg over, I pushed the bike forward as I was just mounting the bike, which caused my kickstand to raise up and instantly putting my left hand leg, my left side leg back further at an angle where I didn't have the power and the leverage to stop my bike from falling over on its left hand side. I mean, I was close, but I just couldn't quite make it. So it was this nice, gentle, slow fall to the ground as best I could. I also fell. I was fine. My bike, in all honesty, actually, the damage isn't that bad. All that happened was I got scrapes here on this mirror, scrapes on this bar end, and I got a few scrapes on the handlebar. The worst part is this engine cover right here on this side, on my left hand side, looks like the brunt of the issues there. Other than that, there's nothing else wrong with the bike. I didn't hit the tank whatsoever, nothing. So I'm probably gonna have to invest in some frame sliders, if not just for like accidental drops. Man, I tell you what, and I was so embarrassed, but 100% avoidable. Just plain stupidity and ignorance on my part. Just not paying attention to what I'm doing. Probably everyone out there has dropped their bike at least once, or people multiple times. I mean, I've dropped the Vulcan S. I dropped the Vulcan S once trying to make a right hand turn where I was too quick on the clutch, and when I let the clutch out, it died, and I was already leaned over for the turn, and then poof, down I went. It was fast. Also, I got really lucky there, and there was like 0 damage as well. The saddlebag really took all the brunt of that damage. My Vulcan Classic I've not dropped. Still waiting on tires for it though, so I can't ride it. I'm curious, down in the comments, maybe you guys might want to share some of your embarrassing moments of dropping your bike. Especially in front of people. Like, that's the worst part, if you drop your bike in front of people. Oh, the water is up. Of course, we have been getting a lot of rain lately. I know you guys don't know, because this is probably your first time seeing the water, unless you're from this area, then you can tell the water's up. But yeah, that water's definitely up from all the rain. But yeah, I'm kind of curious what if you guys are willing to share some of your dropping stories in the comments below. And hopefully with my kind of clickbaity title and thumbnail that I'm going to use, maybe it'll get more people to watch and we'll get even more stories. But hey, you know, seems like everybody kind of drops their bike once, you know, at least. So yeah, that's my fun I dropped my bike story. Into neutral. Let's give you guys an update on the things that I've done to this bike so far. Here's one of my favorite, like, kind of dumb mods, but I really like it. And I'll probably include a different picture if this doesn't turn out. But I got one of these tags. Well, shit. I got one of these tags that says... Oh, I literally just turned my bike off. And we're back. Tell you what, we're not gonna mess with that right now. It says cow is sexy, but I couldn't help myself. I had to have it. Another thing I've done is I added a tail tidy onto this thing to help clean up the rear end, get rid of all that ugly plastic. I will say though, definitely slings more dirt onto the back of the bike now that I've done that. Alright, well guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this, well, I guess this was more of just a moto vlog today, and the story of how I dropped my bike. And remember, down below, go ahead and tell me your embarrassing stories on how you dropped your bike, and we can all laugh together at each other. Tyler from My Friend's Garage, signing off.